sacrifice.
24 minutes moving away from the hour of 9 o'clock, and we do apologize for the late start in our program this morning. Our program this morning coming to you compliments National Bank, and we'll be back after a quick word from our sponsor.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your National Bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
All right, welcome back to the program, and let me say good morning to Sergeant Javon in the studio with me this morning. He's our host for today, and I'm your moderator. Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning, GQ. As always, it's always a pleasure to be here. Good morning to the listening public, both home and abroad. We bring to you again yet another edition of Policing with You. And GQ, this week is somewhat of a jubilant week for the Federation because this week is Independence Week, for want of a better phrase.
Yes.
As you know, yesterday was National Heroes Day, and I hope everyone had a good National Heroes Day. I would like to say congratulations to all those awardees that received awards yesterday, particularly Miss Mossinden, who was my grade 5 teacher.
Oh, boy.
So that just goes to show how long she would have been teaching, and so I want to say congrats again to all of them. In light of the independence celebrations, GQ, we have with us this morning in our studios Mr. Petty, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security, and officers from the National Intervention Team. I'll allow them to introduce themselves. However, they're here to tell us a bit more about the Explorers Group that we see, have exploded onto the scene, so to speak. And I don't know if you realize every Independence Day, GQ, they're on parade and they almost outnumber the military, the armed and not unarmed ranks. They're here to tell us more about it. So I'll have the officers first introduce themselves.
Good morning to everyone out in Radio Land. I am Officer Maxine from the Community Policing Team.
Hi, good morning everyone. I am Officer Aidan Hendrickson of the National Intervention Team / Community Policing Team.
Good morning everyone. I'm Kylan Lake of the Community Policing Team. Nice to be here. Good morning as well, again.
So again, you're here to tell us a bit more about the Explorers. Today, I understand, is a very big day for the Youth Explorers. Tell us what is so special about today and how did this idea come about?
Oh yes, today indeed is a big day for the Explorers Group because today is Explorers Day. Every year, as Sergeant Richard said, the Explorers would go on independence. But due to the fact that there will be no independence march this year, we have something for the children to give them a different avenue to the independence. So today's Explorers Day. The children would be going to school in their Explorers uniform, whatever color their Explorers shirt is, they will be going in the shirt and in the bottom. So today's Explorers Day.
The shirt represent the color for today?
Yes. So each club have a different color.
Right.
So in the schools, you can see you can imagine all the different colors from children from all over, high schools, primary schools, preschools, right? Yes. And this Explorer movement come about because we wanted something to take the children off the streets.
Right.
It was started by Inspector Isles Joseph. Inspector Isles Joseph is the one who started the Explorers movement, and it is supported by Mr. Petty, the Permanent Secretary for National Security, and also the officers from the community policing team. The first Explorer group was Mulfield Explorers, which is a combination of children from Molyneux and the Phillipses, and it is called the Mulfield Explorers Group. And it is the first Explorer group to be formed. And after that, the inspector started other groups around the country of St. Kitts and hand them over to different officers from the community policing team. All right, thank you.
Okay, fantastic. So you're saying, so in the absence of an independence march this year, the explorers now still have an opportunity to
Showcase.
to be patriotic, so to
Yes.
speak,
Yes.
by wearing their shirts to school. That's an ingenious idea. I think you allow them to feel a part of the celebrations. I'm told that the day will end on a special note tonight in St. Peter's. Tell us about that.
Yes. My name is Officer Hendrickson once again, and I am the officer that is solely in charge of the St. Peter's Explorers group. Today, on our calendar event for the St. Peter's Explorers, we had a talent show. But when we received the news that there would be no Independence Day match, we said, what an occasion to bring all the children, some of the children from the different groups together. Right? So we're going to use the opportunity this evening for the children to come together. Come together, yes. Come together. To interact with one another, like they usually do during the Independence Day festivities. Right? Today, or later this evening, we'll have a number of different performances. We have a performance from the St. Peter's Actors. We have a performance from the Cowboy Indian that is, recently...
Newly on the scene.
Newly, recently revived cultural act. We have a special performance by Dijon, right? Mr. Roy Phipps. He will be doing a drumming presentation for us, and then we'll close on the night with a performance by the St. Peter's Explorers Bull Troop, which I know and I hope that
So they have a bull troop?
Yes, we have a bull troop. Yes. That's one of the avenues, the subgroups of the Explorer movement.
Wow.
Right. So I hope that some of the persons from St. Peter's or surrounding areas come out and support the event. It's going to be a momentous evening, and I hope that we have a wonderful time.
Thank you for the update.
Well, it almost sounds as if tonight will rival any independence concert. But officer, I would like to encourage all and sundry to come out and, participate with the explorers, and come together with the youths, because this is a wonderful initiative, and they have to see that they're being supported by their parents and the members of the various communities.
But please keep in mind, the COVID-19
social
policies.
distancing, yes. We
Yes.
observe social distancing and protocols, at all times. I understand each of you is a leader for a particular explorers group. So tell us about that. Which groups are you leaders for?
Okay, I am Officer Maxine, and I am the leader for the Keyon Explorers. The Keyon Explorers meet every Tuesday at the Keyon Basketball Court at 5 o'clock p.m. So every Tuesday at the Keyon Basketball Court, the Keyon Explorers meet.
Okay, my name is Officer Hendrickson, and I am in charge of the St. Peter's Explorers Youth Club. And we meet on Thursdays at 5 p.m. on the Atiba Harris Field, or sporting complex.
My name is Officer Lake, and I'm in charge of Lodge Explorers. We usually meet at the school, but because of the coronavirus pandemic, we now meet at the playing field / court at Atlas Village there. We follow the protocols still. The children would wear the masks. When we do certain activities, if we have a speaker there, a guest speaker, they will follow the protocol in being either 6 feet apart or 3 feet apart. Sometimes it's hard because, they're little children and they love to interact.
Yes.
But they usually do. When we have, we play games and what's not, we can't follow protocol because they want to play
We
little
try,
game, but we try.
Yeah, you try.
But they want to play little games, but all in all, the children are still excited for explorers because throughout the lockdown, it was like, when are we going to start back up explorers? They miss explorers. They miss their friend. They miss interacting with their friend. That's what explorers are all about. Letting children from all over interact with one another, because the problem is we realize that the youths, they are the one doing some of the crime, a lot of the crime. So the explorers letting them come together to interact, knowing one another, they could say, you know what, I know you, I know him. Why are we fighting each other? What is the cause of this? Why? So, explorers is just not for good children. It's for at-risk children and non-at-risk children. Help grow each other, help build each other, and what's not.
Shed some light.
Yes.
So let me spiral into a next question then. So how has your experience been for each of you being a leader for an explorers group? What has the experience been like for you?
The experience has been very, very good because working with children, you get to help them. You get to keep the children off of the streets, keep them occupied. And in the explorers groups, we help them with their schoolwork, we help them with their education. And in the explorers, we have a lot of success stories where a lot of the children in the explorers group, though in lower classes, a lot of them, they are moving up out of those classes into better classes. They're getting better grades, right? So that is something that the explorers is happening. The explorers have a movement, and it's a positive movement. We are helping those children, and I am very happy to be a part of that movement.
Nice.
Mr. Hendrickson?
Yes, well, Officer Maxine touched on basically everything I was about to say. So I don't know if Mr. Lake have something to say.
No, but tell us for you, your experience. That is what I want to know.
Okay, well, being a part
How
of...
do you feel being
being a part of this team and working with the Explorers has been like a match made in heaven. Before I became a police officer, I used to keep certain events in Keyon, like youth events and stuff like that, where I would get children to come into venue and we keep like summer program and stuff. So when I was offered the opportunity to come on this team, I was extremely grateful because I always believe that children are the future and we have to mold a tree into the way we want it to go. So I'm extremely happy.
Well, for me now, I grew up in youth programs, especially I grew up in Pathfinder. So I'm somewhat accustomed to it. I used to be a counselor for Pathfinder, but not on such a large scale. I was never the one to be in charge of the club. I was the one just to teach a certain class.
Right.
But before I became a police, I told myself and I always wanted to be somewhat of a help, somewhat to make a difference in people's life. And when I finished training school, I got the call and they asked me if I want to join the club, and I was like, sure, I like to join this community program and also to help with young people.
It was a no-brainer for you.
No-brainer because the thing is, I grew up, I grew up as an at-risk child, I grew up as an at-risk child, so I know how some of these children feel. Some of them just want someone to be there for them. I wanted someone to be there for me, but no one could see my pain, I guess. Like that, I didn't literally come out and say, hey, I want to be there for me. And you see, and because no one was there for me, I had to learn things the hard way. I do things that I shouldn't have done, even though I was in Pathfinder. Pathfinder was once a week, but still, I didn't really had no one to be there for me. I go up with my grandmother, she have her other children plus grandchildren, so it was just me alone. So given this opportunity to be there for the youths, to make a difference, to understand their needs, to understand where they are coming from, it really made me happy, to see a change in their life. It's not easy.
I can hear from your experience. Your passion. Your passion.
Someone's passionate about it, and that's what we want.
It's a beauty. It's wonderful. I'm loving it.
That's what we want. Persons who are earmarked to be role models and leaders for children need to be someone of a character that these children can emulate. So I'm happy to hear the passion. So tell us about how many groups in total are there around the federation?
Currently, we have nine explorers group that's already launched.
And where are they located? The different groups.
Okay. Well, I'll give a little history. The first club that was launched was the Mulfield Explorers. The second club was the Shadwell Explorers. The third club was the St. Paul's Explorers. Then you had St. Peter's Explorers. We had Keyon Explorers. We had Lodge Explorers. Then we had Old Road Explorers, Trinity Explorers, and then we had Newtown Explorers.
We are in the process of launching 3 other clubs, but because of the pandemic, we have to put it on pause. We have Tabernacle, we have Deep Bay, and Newton Ground. So there will be 12 clubs in total. For Tabernacle and Newton and Deep Bay, they already received their uniform, so they wear the uniform to school today. But Deep Bay, they are still in the process of making their uniform because Newton Ground, because the uniforms are free.
Right.
So once we come by the school, you want to join, just ask. The parents don't have to worry about
Having
buying,
to pay or anything. Everything is free at
happen
Explorers.
to
Everything is free.
purchase
Yes.
the uniforms.
Right.
It's free, so they can join. Those that haven't launched as yet, they could go in the area. If they live close to the area, they can join.
Right.
Okay. So of the 9 clubs in existence right now, about how many members, Explorer members in total do you have?
Over 1,000. Over 1,000.
Yes, we have over 1,000
Over
children.
1,000
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
It's a lot of children.
And you still have 3 more clubs to launch, you
launch,
say?
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive, GQ. That's extremely impressive.
With your permission, Sergeant Richards, I want to take a break.
Of course, sure.
And then when we return, we'll continue our conversation and we'll open the lines as well to hear from the public.
Okay.
All right, 465-2555. That's the number to call when we return. Remember, this program is coming to your compliments, National Bank.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your
It
national
is
debit or
important
black card.
that we pay our mortgage on time at NAC for your future security and a peace of mind. It is important that we pay our mortgage on time at NAC. It's your responsibility and it's also mine. The management and staff at NAC wants to encourage all who holds the key to keep up to date, pay your mortgage on time for your future security. It is important that we pay our mortgage on time at NAC for your future security and a peace of mind. It is important that we pay our mortgage on time at NAC. It's your responsibility and it's also mine. Visit us at Park Range, Bastille, or call us today at 869-466-4701 for your future security. Easy, man.
To Sergeant Richards.
Yes, GQ, again, for those of you who just tuned in, this is Policing with you, and in the studios we have officers from the National Intervention Team along with Mr. Petty, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security, and they're here educating the public about the Explorers, the Youth Explorers. So, tell us, officers, the Explorers group is known sometimes as a movement. So tell us about this movement. How did this movement come about? What was the incipience of, or the genesis, so to speak, of the Explorers? And tell us now that it has spread. Now it is spreading like wildfire.
Yes.
Tell us what has the reception been like.
Okay, let me begin with the Mulfield Explorers. Before the Mulfield Explorers launched, was created, children from Molyneux could not go to Phillips's, and children from Phillips's were not allowed to go to Molyneux. And since the inception of the Mulfield Explorers now, we have children in Molyneux are always in Phillips's, and children in Phillips's are always in Molyneux now. Okay, so that is one of the reasons why the Mulfield Explorers was launched. As I said, the Mulfield Explorers was launched by Inspector Isles. All of the clubs were created by Inspector Isles. So the Explorers Clubs is to help at-risk children, but we don't only want at-risk children. We want those that are well-behaved and those in between, right? So we don't want parents to feel like, my child don't give troubles, I don't need to send them to the Explorers Club, because that is not what that all the Explorer Club is about. We have the good children, we have those that give the trouble, and we have the really good ones, right? So that the Explorer is, and it is to also keep the children occupied and off the streets. That's one of the reasons for Explorers, also to keep the children occupied into something positive.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Before you continue, gentlemen, let's take our first call.
Okay.
Sure.
Hi, good morning. You're live.
Hi, good morning. I'm not really calling for this topic, but one of these days I need to bring up the topic about statutory rape, because I got a lot to say about it. A lot of the police and the government aim for a lot of things in place, but I understand when people statutory rape people children, they need to be locked up. If anything, under what I see, I believe not supposed to be locked up for until the judge straight let go the man. Have a good day.
All right. We'll address that later, but let's take this next call. Hi, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Hi, morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, good morning to everyone there on the panel, Great program. I'm Don Dango Farrell, calling in from St. Martin. I'm loving it. Personally, I've been looking at the youngsters there, the police officers, and I can't get to picture them in terms of knowing who they was growing up, but I think they have been doing a wonderful, wonderful job for the youths. I'm very, very impressed. Very, very, very impressed. And I just want you guys to keep up the good works. I think this, what you are doing with able to help St. Kitts and Nevis, keep the crime down, keep the youngsters disciplined, help them along the proper journey. And I think we will be able to get a better St. Kitts and Nevis, and by some of the youngsters, because all of them is not going to say St. Kitts Nevis. They will basically spread their wings. So by traveling out again, I think they will be better men and to serve in whatever capacity that they choose to serve in. Again, I'm very, very pleased. I'm here sitting and watching. And thank you again, GQ. And thank you for those young police officers. Great job. Great job.
Thanks for calling in. Thanks for your support. Before I let you gentlemen respond, I'm going to take these next two calls, and then we'll go from there. Hi, good morning. You're live.
GQ, my friend, good morning. And good morning,
Hi, good morning
to the Explorer and the Sergeant that's there. I want to thank the Explorers in Kayan for the short time my grandson was with them. He didn't finish because he learned a lot. He said he didn't realize that kids could be so bad when he went into the Explorers. And also, I want to thank Kayan primary teachers for his first year starting out school in Kayan. The principal before this one and the one now. And all the teachers that he had. I want to thank them very, very much from the bottom of my heart. Because right now he is in the States, and because he started school here, he's doing so good. He's getting all A's and certificates for good behavior. I cannot say all the things that he gets because he started from Kayan Primary. At age 4, the principal before take him into school because he had a friend that he met when he first came here to St. Kitts at age 4. He did not know nobody else. And because of that, the principal that was there before, this one, took him in not to force him to do any kind of work, but, for him to learn. And that was very good. I am so thankful because I never could believe that one of my grandchildren will come to St. Kitts and go to the same primary school that his grandmother went to. I am so proud of that. And I hope they will continue to train the children, and the Explorer is very good. But he did not like it because he said the kids was too bad. And he already had the training from his grandmother. So he feel like he was wasting time going there. But I want you guys to continue the work because it's a wonderful thing for a lot of the kids. I mean, you cannot change all the kids, but you will change a few. And that's good. So thank you guys again and keep up the good work.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Gentlemen, I'll let you respond before we take any more calls. You want to touch on that first?
Yeah, my name is Osman Petty. I'm Permanent Secretary. I just want to comment on the statutory rape thing. This is not really under the direction of Explorers. That is dealt from the police. They have a section of the police, Special Victims Unit, that would address things like statutory rape. What I would say, though, from an Explorer's point of view, is that Explorers provide what we are calling a safe haven for children. In other words, children who are disadvantaged. We have found that by being in the Explorers, they have a means of addressing their problems and finding people to speak with. We have a lot of stuff. We have the TAPS program in school, which is not Explorers, but which is related, because all of the teachers of the TAPS program, Teen and Police Service Academy in our secondary school, are also the same police in the Explorers clubs. And so therefore they deal with children who are disadvantaged. So Explorers is a safe haven. The other thing I want to mention is that we are in the process of discussing Explorers and the community policing team as a divergent option. That is, youth who are offending in some way can be put in the Explorers program by the magistrates and the DPP and the police and so on to learn to work with other young people. So that is now being discussed, and hopefully working with the Social Welfare Department and the Child Welfare Board and so on, the Explorers will become a divergent options for youth in trouble. But I just want to say to the caller that things like statutory rape, which is a crime, is really being dealt with by the Special Victims Unit of the police. And what the Explorers would do, though, if they find that situation, they would refer it to the Special Victims Units. Okay.
All right, there's a question online. This person is asking, how can they get their children in the group? Anyone can respond to that?
Yes, it depends on where the person wants to sign up their child, the location of the children, but each group has different locations. For example, the Mulfield Explorers, they meet at the basketball court, the Phillips's basketball court, every Saturday at 4:30, right? So to get your child to sign up to the Explorers, all you have to do is to send the child to the location that we are having Explorers, and the officer would enroll the child,
and
right?
Also, we'll give them a form to fill out, and then from there,
A form for them to take to their parent?
Parents to fill out,
Okay.
and bring it back in.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me just continue with the other locations of
Sure.
the other Explorer groups. Lodge Explorers is located
At the playing field.
and what time?
5 o'clock every Tuesday afternoon.
And the Keon Explorers is located at the Keon basketball court at 5 o'clock every Tuesday afternoon. The Shadwell Explorers, they are located in the Shadwell Estate every Wednesday at 5 o'clock p.m. Okay, we have the Newtown Explorers, the Newtown
4:30 every Monday at the playing
The paddock.
the paddock in Newtown.
Yes, that's the Newtown Explorers. So 4:30 every Monday at the Newtown playing field,
Paddock.
right? Or the paddock. Okay. We have the St. Paul's Explorers group, and
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock at the school.
Yes, out on the
Yeah,
Okay.
The old St. Paul's Playground? Yes.
So St. Paul's Explorers, 5 o'clock every Monday afternoon at the old St. Paul's Playground. And the St. Peter's Explorers?
5 p.m. on Thursdays at the Atiba Harris Sporting Complex.
And the Old Road Explorers, you have the Old Road Explorers, they meet
4:30 over at Vochild's complex.
Playground? Yes. So the Old Road Explorers, 4:30 every Wednesday afternoon at the Old Road Playground.
And Trinity at the playground there.
Below the school.
Below the school at 5.
The Trinity Explorers.
At 4:30. 4:30.
Yes.
p.m. And the age range is from 4 to 17, 18. But for the children who have been there and they want to continue, there will be explorers, majors to assist
the officers.
with the officers. And explorers is also with we also take part with the parents. It's not not only the police officers that are there. The parents also take part. So if you're a parent and you want to take part, you could come and help out. You could be a part of the community committee, be a part in decision making and what's not. So it's just not all about the police. It's about everybody. The police, the parents, the children, everybody.
Thanks for that. All right, let's go back to the phone line. Let's hope this call is still here. Good morning.
Hello, GQ.
Yes, go ahead. You're live.
GQ.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning to everybody and peers and the peers. I want to congratulate Ian Quealy for bringing this program to where it is today. And I must wish him happy independence. I know he is hearing. GQ, where we want to see around the country in general is that the Explorers group, they have more interest in getting these youths go to school. You understand? And not one set of police like Rose and Inspector Powell, Sergeant Powell, when they see them, they pull them up, especially Rose and Powell. We want all of them to join in the force. Because a hot spot over the Port Center, and he got to clean up. Them rocks, they went over there in the rocks, Illinois school, and we want to see that. So I personally would like to see the Explorer group fall in line. A hot spot up Newtown to a lot of little boys up Newtown doing as they like. Especially some residents come here and they bring the children and they're causing us more problem than anything else. P.S. Petty, this country got laws. You understand? The days are all Clark and Mike Harris, the cricketer. We ain't had this kind of problem. Man swear to, you don't go to school and come in town. We want this thing to clean up. Have a good day. Good show, everybody. And the Explorers gotta come to this more often. GQ, you gotta invite them more often. Have a good day.
Have a good day too, man. All right, we're going to take 2 more calls, and depends on how the calls go. I'll bounce it back over to you, Sergeant Richards, because I know you have some more questions before we wrap up. All right, good morning, you're live.
Hi, good morning, GQ, and to your panel.
Good morning.
Wonderful program. I would like to say kudos to Inspector Rosemary Joseph for implementing such a program. And, I always get emotional when it comes to children. I hate to see children go down the wrong road. And guys, continue working with the children. Some of them just need love, as one of the inspectors said. They just need somebody to show them love. They look for love in the wrong places. And we are looking at future pastors, Sunday school teachers, Sabbath school teachers, song leaders, musicians, prime ministers and all of those, PSs and all those people. We are looking at future. They are the future because they're the young ones that are coming up. So let us continue, working with them, please. Thanks. Wonderful program.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah.
Mr. Petty would like to respond? Yes, hold on.
I just want to follow up on what one of the callers said, Jam Down, I think. Let me say that it's quite clear to us that there are many more children that need to be addressed. And I think the officers will speak to that later, but let me say that the intention really is to bring explorers into other places like Sandy Point the village and Matanites, Connery and Taylors and so on. So he's right. There are a lot of children still to be brought on board, and they can speak, but we intend to go into Nevis because we have not yet, although Nevis has expressed interest, we have not yet worked out the logistics for Nevis, but Explorers will go into Nevis. So at the moment there are 1,000 children plus, but there are a lot of children in the Bassi area, especially, still need to be brought onto the fold. And he's quite right. We want other police officers, even if they're not in the community policing team, we want them to support the movement. And some of them are doing so, but we want all of them to come on board and support Explorers, support the community policing team, and point them to children who need to be brought on board also. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Petty. All right, gentlemen, what I'm going to do, right, we have 3 more calls, and we're going to take these last 3 calls, and then we're going to start wrapping up the program. Good morning, Your Life.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes, morning, Your Life. Go ahead.
The boss, good morning, I agree with Jam Down in what he said, right? And I think they need to go into the schools and put it to the teachers and the parents to join these young little children up and down the street doing nothing to be in this kind of thing what they have here, right? Because I can remember that the Irishton School had a marching band. It was splendid in one of the Independence parades under the guidance of the guy still with the masquerade. And I think we are lacking, some of the parents are lacking because they just leave the children to do do all sorts of things, and the parents don't go all about the place. And you all need to get to some of these parents and let them to understand this is time now that the children are supposed to be under the guidance of parents and not under other people. You all have a good day.
All right. Good morning, Your Life.
King, how are you doing?
Hey, not too bad, man.
Well, what I must say, I'm very impressed with what the officers are doing, and I think it's timely. I think it supports the community effort, to bring, peace and tranquility, to everyone. And I don't know, it's an awesome initiative. And, it's things like these which we want to be a part of, because, we play a significant role in our community as well. And we always like to assist where we can, especially, with such efforts. I would like the officers to come in and discuss with us when they have some time, ways in which we can be a part of it and where we can assist, to even make it better or, make a valuable contribution. But, I'm impressed. It's awesome. And I've been listening to the guys there, and especially the guy, the passionate one up on the end there, and we need more things like this, and the community needs to shout it out when good is being done, and, let them know that, hey, we see what you're doing, we appreciate what you're doing, and, how could we be a part of it? It takes all of us to make the community better. And I think, when we have a chance to be a part of something great, awesome, we should step forward and, render our assistance and services in whatever way. So, guys, continue what you're doing. Thank you very much. And, come in and see us, and let's see how we could discuss being a part of it and how we could work together to even make it better. Thanks much.
And that's Arthur from Domino's, by the way. That's the manager for Domino's. Yeah, so Domino's reaching out, sharing their help, their hand, lending hand, as I should put it. Our final call for this morning. You're live. Okay, we lost that one. Let's try this one. Line 3, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, GQ.
This morning.
Good morning to the PSV, Mr. Petty, and the people from the Explorer Club. I believe that is a wonderful step in life for the Federation, that the more these things advance and advance in the community, I believe it's best for the parents and the young people at the Federation, because they'll grow up to be better men and women. And especially some of these parents should try to encourage the children to go on that Explorer Club, because it's very important for them out there working. And when they look, they hear the children get in trouble, they get the children in a violence, and go up good man and good woman. So I just want to commend you all who during this Explorer program to continue and to work with the young men and women in the Federation. May God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to you, gentlemen, as we wrap up this morning.
Yes, any final words from
Well, before you wrap up, remember anyone who called in, if you wanted to respond to, if anyone said anything that you like to respond to, you can do so now as well.
Indeed. Gentlemen?
Well, thanks those who called in and gave their support. You know, it's not easy, but with the grace of God, we'll do our best to help make a change in the life of these young people. I also want to thank the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. The Prime Minister, he's been there for the launches of the Explorer Club. He's been also assisting in uniforms, transportations. I want to thank the High Command, and I want to thank the police force as a whole for their support also. I want to thank the sponsorship. You can't forget the sponsorship. Like Sun Island, they're the one making all the uniforms. You've been seeing the different colors across St. Kitts. I want to thank Ross University for sponsoring us. Windsor for sponsoring the drums, because we have a drum corps. I'm sure y'all realize that last year we have at least 2 large drum corps. So the children also practice drum, learn how to drum. The children love it. You want to see them. I want to thank Alexis Joseph. I want to thank Melo.
That contributed.
I want to thank everyone that contributed freights. I want to thank those in the communities, those who sponsor the parents, the shop owners, the business owners, the small business owners. I want to thank them for their support in the various communities. I want to thank the guest speakers who come and speak to the children and interact with the children. You know, I want to thank everyone.
And also the U.S. officers and the team, right? Also the U.S. officers. We have 10 officers on the team. Yes, we want to thank all the U.S. officers for their support too.
Oh, and also we can't forget the committee members, because they play an integral role in our success as well.
Yes.
So there's a committee.
Yes, we have a committee with the parents. The parents who are interested in helping in getting back our youth, they can be a part of the committee for these different Explorer groups, right? They have to show interest, and once you're on their committee, they can help with the planning of events for the Explorer clubs.
And they will also get a uniform as well.
Yes, and those parents that are on the committee also have their own Explorer uniform. Yes.
Okay. So for our team, we have Inspector Rosemary L. Joseph.
Who is the leader.
She's in charge of Multiple Explorers. We have Officer Sergeant Ricardo Sampson. He's in charge of St. Paul's Explorers. We have Officer Maxine, who's on my left. He's in charge of Cairn Explorers. We have Officer Descent, who is in charge of Newton Explorers. We have Officer Lake, who is on my right. He's in charge of Large Explorers. Officer Short, he's in charge of Trinity Explorers. We have Officer Hodge, who is in charge of Shadowed Explorers. And we have Officer Pemberton, who is in charge of Oldwood Explorers. We also have Officer York, who is attached to Mulfield as well. Okay.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Mr. Petty as well.
And of course, we have to thank Mr. Petty.
Indeed. Most definitely. Mr. Petty, any final words from you?
Well, I want to, of course, thank the young officers and, of course, thank the team who are working well. I also want to, of course, again, thank the government. The Explorers movement comes under national security, and national security is led by me as the operations officer, policy maker, working with the Prime Minister. I want to thank people like Miss Phipps Gilbert, who deals with the budget. The government budget helps, but it helps greatly in terms of uniforms and transportation We depend a lot on buses. We have people like Talbot who we have to pay, but they don't have to come. So it's very important that they come when we call, and there are people from Molineux who help. I want especially, of course, to thank the private sector who have helped so far. Some have been called Ross University, Windsor, Sun Island Close. Recently we got a whole set of sanitizer, 6 boxes of sanitizer liquid from Mr. Wilkin at the breweries. And at this time of COVID-19, that's a very big help.
Indeed.
So we have sanitizer liquid now to last us for a few months, to be honest. So at this stage of COVID-19 and so on,
yes,
that can't be underestimated, the value. So I want to take this opportunity to bring on board or to encourage other private sector donors to help. We just heard from Domino's, and
yes.
we will speak with them to see how they can assist. And I can assure them that Explorers is going to go. It's already the biggest youth group in the Federation, and it is going to go by leaps and bounds. We are at the moment just about getting ready to complete the construction of the Explorers headquarters at Phillips Village, government funded campsite. And once that is finished, it will take Explorers to an even higher level, because we can bring all of the clubs once a week
on the roof
to do certain things and promote the program. So I want to thank the callers who have expressed support, and we look forward to building Explorers into Nevis. We have support in Nevis. Charlestown Secondary School is waiting. It's just that we need to get it organized and so on. So thanks very much for hosting us this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Petty. Sergeant Richards, as we wrap up?
Well, GQ, I want to thank the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Petty, and the officers from the National Intervention Team for coming here and expounding on the Explorers Youth Group. 2 adages stand out to me, GQ. Children are the future.
Indeed.
And the second one is, it takes a community to raise a child. And very often you find parents need some sort of assistance or intervention to help children in order to refocus their energies, or to keep them focused, so to speak. And I am very heartened that the Explorers Group has not only permeated our society but proliferated, insofar as callers can call in and tell you the dramatic changes that they've seen in their children. Not just grades, but behaviors have also changed. And, you know, I know that the Explorers Group was part of the Ministry of National Security's Community Policing Initiative, and fully supported, as Mr. Petty would have indicated, by the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, and by extension the High Command and the wider police force. And, you know, it is extremely heartening, it is extremely delightful to see that young people can make a difference. All they need is a little direction, a little assistance, a little guidance. And so again, I want to thank you, Mr. Petty, and thank the officers. You continue doing what you're doing, and it will be a fruit. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of Policing With You. I've been your host, Sergeant Trevon Richards. Do tune in again next week for another edition.
Let us unite as one. Tell me what you know about love. Tell me what you know about hate. That keeps us separate.
At FarmCare Pharmacy, we continue to expand our offerings to meet our customers' needs. We are home to your favorite products and brands, including Alcolado, bodybuilding supplements, Canadian